Hey everyone, and welcome to another video in our how to build. Except for today's video is not going to be in Minecraft. I'm actually going to show you guys how to make a header for your YouTube channel. I know a lot of you guys have YouTube channels out there. I've been asked a few times about how to make the headers for YouTube, or even the logos or the icons, and I wish I had enough time to make icons or logos for all of you guys that ask. I figured I can make this video, and that way I can show you guys how to make it for yourselves. And if you guys do have any questions, you can just feel free to ask the questions down in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to help as much as I possibly can. All right, dudes? And I'm going to show you guys how to make sure that the size is properly set. That way it's visible across all platforms. We're going to be using Photoshop. Now, you don't have to use Photoshop. You're going to be using any application that can structure images in layers. Now, Photoshop is probably one of my favorites. I've been using it for probably my entire life, ever since I was, I believe, 9 years old, and that's a really long time ago, dudes. Anyway, there are a lot of free applications as well, and I'm going to put in the description below where you can get some of the free applications that you can use as well. That way you don't have to pay for Photoshop, or you can just download a trial version of Photoshop and you can use that as well. Now, I'm only going to be doing really basic stuff, so this will translate across most any other software out there. Now, some of the key ingredients that you're going to need for any for any header are going to be images. Now, I notice a lot of websites or a lot of YouTube channels have header art that also has their logo in it. The only downfall on that is, here, let me show you, is that, why is my computer lagging? Okay, there we go. The only downfall on that is when you're on your header here, you don't want your logo in here because your logo pops up right here in your little icon. I'm going to show you how to make that too. Again, this is really simple as well, and some of you guys have it and some of you guys don't. Again, it's not a big deal. It just it makes your channel look a little more attractive, and more people are going to be apt to click on things because it looks a little more friendly, I guess, or professional, or whatever the case may be. Anyway, so like I said, you don't want to put your logo behind your logo because it looks awkward. It's just silly. You don't want to do that. So let's go ahead and go back to Photoshop, and I'm using CS6 right now. I have CC on my laptop, but I'm recording on my laptop, so there's no way for me to use it on there as well. So anyway, so the first thing you're going to need is an image. So I went ahead and I took the Minecraft background image, and I put my skin on Steve. Essentially, I made him my character, I guess. So the Minecraft cover has essentially been remade for my character, my skin in Minecraft. Again, we do a lot of Minecraft videos. I know that's not all we do, dudes, but I'm just using this for an example. Now, when you're doing your image, you want to make sure that it's proper size. And you never want to create your header over an image that you already have because you don't want to damage the existing image. So I always like to create a brand new image starting from go and then copy the stuff over onto that. That way you're not damaging the stuff you've already created, and you'll always have that saved. So I'll go File, New. And this should be across all platforms, whatever software you happen to be using, okay? So File, New, and then you want to go to the maximum possible size that YouTube will let you upload an image, which is 256 wide by 1440 high. And I like to set my resolution to 96 because 72 is the base bottom for websites, but it gets to be a little bit on the grainy side, and 300 is pretty much the max you're going to use for print. But that becomes really, really large on file size, and we can't have that. So 96 is where we want to be. So we'll go 96 on the new image, and it's going to give us this white background, or whatever color background it happens to be that you have yours preset to. So I'm going to go back to my image here. I'm going to say Command A, which will select the entire thing, and Command C, or you can just go to Edit, Select All, Edit, Copy, and then it'll copy the image, and then I'm going to go to my new image over here. I'm going to press Command V, which pastes it, or you can go to Edit, Paste over here. It depends on your system. On a PC, it's going to be Control C and Control V, not Command, because I'm using a Mac. Anyway, so here's my base size image. Now I'm going to want to create another image, and this is why layers are really important when you're creating this, because you don't want to overwrite a small piece of the image. You want to be able to move these layers around. What I mean by layers is you see these two things on the side over here. One's the background and one's the top layer, and I can move this one around and it doesn't really affect the one behind it. And so I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to create a brand new image. Now this image is going to be the bare minimum size image that YouTube allows for some of the Android devices and iOS devices. So you want to make sure your text is visible across all the platforms. None of it is being lost. So the bare minimum that they allow for is 1855 wide by 423. You might think that's not very big, but that's how big the Android devices read. And a lot of people will view your videos on their phone, so you don't want to exclude them from seeing your content. So now it creates this small little image. I'm going to say Command A, I'm going to say Command C, or select all and copy. I'm going to go back to my image that I just made. I'm going to say Command V, or paste, and it's going to paste it smack dab in the middle of my screen, and that's exactly where it's going to crop it when it's on YouTube's website. So I'm going to grab these little guides here, and the free softwares I'm going to be giving you guys a link for will also have these guides. One of them is Photoshop CS2. Now that one only works on older computers, but it's free. It's a full suite, and it's entirely free to use. They're not supporting it anymore, so they're giving it out free for anybody to download, including Premiere and all that other stuff, but it's an older version. Nonetheless, it still works really, really well. Okay, so now I'm going to turn that layer off because I dropped these guides. Now I know inside of these lines is my safe zone, and what that is this is where all my content will be seen no matter what. No matter what device it's being viewed on, my content is going to get viewed by literally everybody that visits my YouTube channel. So okay, so the next thing you're going to need is some kind of text. Now, whether it be your channel name or a .com or just what your channel does, you want to be able to convey some kind of information to your public. So our channel is mostly gameplay, and then I'm going to separate it, and then I'm going to do we do reviews. I'm going to separate it again, and we do vlogs. So that's the three things that our channel does. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it in the center. Now that's too tiny to read, so I'm going to go in, I'm going to change the font size to be as big as possible, and I'm probably going to expand that because I want to maximize this space. So I'm going to expand it to be, how big is this going to be? It's at about 100 right here. It's going to be different for the different types of font you use. Now I'm using this font called Minecraft font, which is just the 8-bit Minecraft version that you read underneath, where you see on the side kind of at an angle when you load Minecraft. It's that font there. So secondly, you're going to want to make sure the font is legible. You can barely read it on mine right now because it's black. I'm going to turn it to white, and then I'm going to give it an outline. So white, you can read a little bit better, but it still disappears in certain spots. So I'm going to probably give it a stroke, which is an outline, and the outline on the outside. And I can either make that black or any color that I choose, but I think black is going to be the most visible, and I can make that pretty thick. Or if I don't choose to do that, I can do something like I can make a glowing outside. So outer glow is over here, and I can make it glow a particular color. Like say I want it to be red or green. No, green's going to vanish. Probably red. If I do red and I make it glow, then I can make the size pretty big, and then I can change it to normal on here and change the opacity all the way up, and it gives it a glow, and now I can read it a little bit better. Whatever the capacity is of the software you're using, you can mess with it and kind of get the best results for whatever it is you're trying to achieve. Now I'm just using this as an example. I'm not actually going to be posting this. I'm just showing you guys how to make this. So there we go, gameplay, reviews, vlogs, and then what will happen is now when it crops it down, people will be able to read at least what your channel is capable of doing. Now you have to remember the icon drops on the top left corner or on the bottom left corner depending on the device. So you want to make sure you have a little bit of space cleared top and bottom, but not too much. It's not going to be a big deal. Okay, so there you go. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to file, I'm going to save as, and I'm going to save as new YouTube header, and I'm going to change this to a JPEG. Now the file types are very particular. You can only upload a JPEG, a GIF, a bitmap, or a PNG file. However, you cannot upload animated GIF. You can only upload a static one. Static meaning a single image that doesn't change YouTube will not let it flip. It'll just be stuck on the first image, I believe, or it'll just fail altogether. Okay, so we're going to save it as a JPEG, and we're going to say save. And the second thing that's most important, it can only be a maximum size of 4 megabytes. Ours, luckily, if you can see right here where my mouse is, 1.3 megabytes at maximum resolution. That's why we made it at 96 DPI, the dots per inch. It's going to be keeping the file size nice and low. That way it doesn't exceed the 4 megabyte size that YouTube allows for. So we'll say OK, and it creates the file. And then you're ready to go. You can go and upload that directly to YouTube. Now, secondly, you're going to want your icon or your logo itself to be visible by the public as well. So we have here, like, this is our current Ethan and Liam HD header right now. And see, this portion here gets viewed on all the websites. And then this is our logo that I created a long time ago as well. And we're going to change it actually to be the more solid colored logo, which is a file, open. Now we have a bunch of files here, and then the file we're going to be using is going to be this guy here. Okay, this one here. So this is our more solid colored logo. Now the key with the logo is you want the image to be, you're going to go to File, New. Again, you're never going to overwrite an existing image. You always want to create a new file and then just copy stuff over. It's going to be 800 by 800. Again, 96 as my resolution, 800 by 800 width, because it's going to be square or circle. I mean, if you want to make it a circle image, it's fine too, because when you're in Google Plus, it turns it into a circle, and when you're on your Android, I believe it also turns it into a circle, but I'm not certain. So regardless, so you're going to make it 800 by 800, and you're going to take the image that you have. Where did our logo go? It's over here somewhere. Over here. I'm going to say, again, Command A or select all, Command C or copy, and then here I'm going to say Command V. Now my image is clearly huge because it's set up for printing on t-shirts, which I'll put a link in the description below where you can get those. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to center it on the page because it's going to reduce it down towards center, right? So I'm going to make this, link these together, make this 25. So there we go. So that fits exactly in here, and we can reduce it a little bit more probably, just so none of it gets cut off on the image. There we go. So that's nice and set up. So this is set to be exactly fit for our icon. Okay, so now we're at 800 by 800. So we're going to want to do at this point, we're going to go to image, image size. Now you don't want to create it at this point. You want to keep it at 800 by 800 until you get the image in there. Otherwise, the image quality will look really, really poor once it's up on YouTube, and you don't want that. So we're going to change it now. Width-wise, it's going to be 98. And the height is also going to be 98. So it's going to basically be roughly about 1 inch by 1 inch. And that's the size of the icon on your desktop. So we're going to say OK, and it's going to reduce it for us. And we're not going to lose that much resolution, because what we did was we took a big image and we crushed it down, as opposed to we taking a small image, made it big, and then crushed it back down again. It ruins the integrity of the image. I know that sounds a little bit confusing, but that's just the way Photoshop works when you're creating images, or any software actually, when you're creating images. You don't want to lose too much resolution. At the same time, you don't want to make it too intricate, because you will lose some of the detail into it when it's crushed down. So anyway, so now we're down to our small little bit here. I'm going to say File, Save As. And again, you can file save this. I'm going to save this one as EL for Ethan and Liam, icon -2. And this is going to be for Facebook, for YouTube, for everything. It'll kind of go across the board, Twitter and whatnot. So we're going to save it as a JPEG. And again, you can save it as a JPEG or a GIF, a GIF file, a bitmap, a PNG, but you cannot save it as an animated GIF. It will not accept it. Period. That's it. You can try it, it will fail. So there we go. We're going to say File, Save, and it's going to be 46 kilobytes. I think it allows for 1 megabyte file size, which is fine, but our file is super tiny. So there we go. I can go onto our Ethan and Liam Uncut account, which is an account we don't really use. It's supposed to be for all of our vlogs, but I can show you kind of how to adjust it. So basically, this will be empty on yours, or you'll just have a plain image, and you can just put a cool photo that you have or something back there. that'll be fine too. It doesn't have to say anything. It's just nice sometimes to let people know what you do, whether you're a photographer or you're a videographer or you do gameplay or you're just a vlogger or whatever it is, just something where it indicates what it is you do on a regular basis. So it kind of gives indication of people that are visiting your channel what it is you do. So we only have two subscribers on that channel, but we're not planning on pushing this channel much. Anyway, I'm just kind of using it as an example. So you're going to click on this top right corner here when you're on YouTube. This is from computer. From the phone, it's going to be a little bit different. You're going to click on this little pencil here, and we're going to say Edit Channel Art. So we're going to say Select File from Computer, and we're going to find the file we just created. There it is. We're going to select that, and what it's going to do is going to put it in place. It's going to show us where it crops. And you can kind of see where it puts it up for a computer and on the TV and whatnot. So you can kind of get an idea of how it's going to lay out, and you're going to say select, and it's going to change our art up here, and it's ready to go. So there we go. Gameplay, reviews, vlogs. The image in the background is really just extra bonus. So if somebody were to view your channel on the TV, it expands it quite a bit. Or if somebody were to click on your Google Plus account, it shows up a lot more. And then we can do the same thing with our little icon. Right now we have a little creeper dude, which is the same creeper from this image, as a matter of fact. And we're going to change it. We're going to say edit icon. We're going to click on that same little pencil and say edit icon. And we're going to select a logo. It's right here, EL icon 2. We're going to select that, and it's going to upload the image for us really quick. And we're going to say done. And it's going to put it in that little spot there. I don't think you can reposition where it's at, so you might want to play with it, because remember, in Google Plus it cuts it round, and it's cutting off a little bit of the HD, but I think it's alright. It's not a big deal. And then on Google Plus also we have a different art, so I want to select this one here and say done. For the background right now, it's like a big old planet. So there we go. Now it looks a little more appropriate. It's in HD. Okay, there we go. So that's channel art uploaded, and this will take a little while, but it'll cycle through, and it'll be all brand new when it's all done. Anyway, so we can go back to our channel over here, and we can refresh this, and this should change soon. It's gonna take a little while, but the little icon will change soon. But that's essentially it, dudes. There's not a whole lot to it, like I said. And like I said, you don't have to put text on here. You can just use a really cool photo that you found online. I'll just try to make sure it's not copyright infringed. Anyways, dudes, I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, don't forget to smash a like button as hard as you can down below with your creeper. Yeah, and if you're at all new to our channel, dudes, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below as well. Right there, not on this channel but on the other one. It's greatly appreciated, and it lets you guys know when we upload our daily video, or videos for that matter, and even when we stream. Anyways, dudes, till next time, see ya. Yeah.